that you have notes that are slightly different, and if you use one instead of the other, you get a whole different sound in your chord. So, like for example, let me see if I can find another one for you. Let's do a major chord this time. Let's do a B major chord that goes B, D sharp, F sharp. You hear how dissonant that is. That's using the Pythagorean major third. If I use E flat instead of D sharp, it's a lot smoother. And it's because that E flat is only 2 cents smaller than the 5/4 ratio, which is the just major third. So that was historically how they started using, that's how they introduced the idea of the 5 limit into music, because before they really understood it mathematically, they noticed that there were notes that they could use instead. Gave you a weird spelling. You're dealing with a B major chord that goes B, E flat, F sharp.
Instead of D sharp,
right.
F sharp.
But they actually did start making keyboards that had these extra notes on them, and they started writing music like that. And then finally in 1480, Bartolomé Ramos came along and said, well, we're using 5 limit ratios.
Was he Italian?
So, no, Portuguese.
I can use ABC. I was at the Chandelier, but then you pass on to So with the A, to be the first note, C is Do, A is La.
Right, but historically, A was the first
right.
letter that they put on.
And everything I always have to, on top of the Italian language, I have to convert my notes.
Yeah.
This is why
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
Well-
translate in English first, and then the notes in the...
In the B major chord there, you know, you would end up, you would have like C, Re sharp, and Fa sharp, right?
Yeah.
So instead, C, Mi flat, Fa sharp. So it's totally different.
Right.
It doesn't look like a B major chord, but it sounds better than the Pythagorean B major.
Was that
chord.
easier for you when he said that?
No, well, it's, no, because now that I reason, it's like, you know, the brain just starts reasoning like this, then I have to,
Yeah.
not, you know, it just doesn't matter. When I'm in the US, I speak English and this language, and I mean, I have to,
So you get the idea there. And so
Yeah,
what
I
Jonathan's saying is if you keep going, like let's say to 17 notes, then you actually get 5 pairs of notes that are separated by a comma. And they use that in Arabic tuning and Turkish
what
too.
about Middle Eastern music?
Yeah, the Middle Eastern music all has these
That's what I was
comma-separated
yeah,
pairs of
yeah,
notes in
no,
it.
I see that.
Western music traditionally didn't have that.
I love
until-
Middle Eastern music.
Yeah.
Until Harch came along.
Cool.
Okay,
I
so
have my dog in the car, so I can stay a little bit more, but
You want to bring him in?
he's a little hyper and big, so I don't know if it's a good
if
idea.
he's hyper and big, that doesn't.
He doesn't.
It's like
yeah.
a bull in the china shop.
No, he's parked in the shade. He's got window open. I just checked and he's alright, but I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe like for a little bit more, but I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I want to do this now. I
Yeah.
want to show you what a tone space is. On the tone space, we'll do the same thing. We'll just use only 2 as the identity vector, 3 is the only factor that we're working with. Okay, so it creates this thing here.
Tone space.
Tone space, yeah.
Tone space. And the program is called
Tonescape.
Tonescape.
I know there's
Like a lines,
An
a
anagram.
landscape.
So Tonescape.
Tonescape is the program, and tone space is the type of file where you can build a temperament directly out of Just
So
Intonation.
your friend invented the program. You wrote the. No, you
No, I
invented
invented it. He
the
coded
program
it.
and
He wrote the code.
So yeah, you had all these ideas, but he helped you with the
Code.
with
Yeah.
the practical side.
Yeah, he used some of the
Amazing.
code that I had. I had like little programs in BASIC that could do some
This is
stuff.
amazing what
And
you
he
did.
put it all together, yeah. It is, it's a
No,
great...
I'm saying you invented all the what's in the program. He just did the. Let's go through.
His name's Chris Whitman, since we're documenting it, so...
Yeah. Oh, we're on camera.
Yeah. So here, in my tone space, you see the 3 dimension on here. There's nothing here yet, it's just the 3 dimension, okay? Over here in this window, it asks me what cardinality am I shooting for. Okay, so I want to use 12, since that's what we're familiar with. 31 comes up as the default, but I want to use 12. Okay? Then it has this box here, which asks me, do I want to use the Tenney-Monzo reduced lattice basis? I know, I'm not going to get into that, but basically what that means is on a complex just intonation, if you're trying to create a Fokker periodicity block, the Tenney-Monzo basis is the one that will give you the one that's most closely packed to the origin point. Because you can pick any unison vectors you want to, and it'll give you any shape you can imagine. But the Tenney-Monzo basis is the one that puts it closest to the 1-1, to the origin of the lattice. So if I uncheck that, you'll see, well, I don't get any other choices here. If I want to make a 12-note tuning in Pythagorean, the only thing I can choose is the Pythagorean comma. So if I choose the Pythagorean comma as my unison vector, I just drag it down here, and it will filter out the whole infinite set of pitches that you can't see yet into the 12 that you get by employing the Pythagorean comma as your unison vector. So here you go. And what you get is exactly the same thing I just showed you, pretty much. Not exactly, because it has one more note on this side. But it's pretty close to what I just showed you. Okay? Now, if I use closed curve geometry on this, it'll do this. And it shows you a circle of fifths. Because this is how you get the circle of fifths, by tempering out the Pythagorean comma. If I tried to do that on my tuning that I had, this one, I don't even have closed curved available, because you can't employ this warping dimension on a plain just tuning, because there's no such thing. You just have whatever dimensions you use according to your ratios, and that's it. But once you start fooling around with temperaments, I didn't temper anything yet. I still have a Pythagorean tuning, but I'm looking at the Fokker periodicity block if I treat the Pythagorean comma as a unison vector. But if you do temper it out, you end up with a circle now. I don't have a chain of fifths anymore, I have a circle now. And then, if I want to temper it out, I click on this tuning tab here. And, well, this is disabled. I wonder why. I don't know why that's disabled. I'm supposed to be able to click on that and tell it to make a temperament, and then it would shift everything and give me 12 equal. That's what it would give me. I don't know why it's disabled. I guess because I didn't say create a tuning.
Well, that's
Well.
I mean, I think I have enough of the program for today.
Okay. Well, there's
I mean,
a lot
I get,
more.
I'm sure, but you know, I
What-
would have to really have these really work out. I would have to have the program and sit around.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I tell you, that Scott Wilkerson book really was great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to play around.
There's a book that's
Yeah, I
really
mean, I can
good.
see so much, but then you know, I just.
I might be able to put my hands on it.
It's right
So
over
you
there.
have manuals also, or
Yeah, I
is
have
the manual
tutorials
in
and things
tutorials?
online, yeah.
That's great.
I want to show you just,
This
if
is
you can
actually-
hang out
look
just
at
a
this
minute.
Great.
I love this book. This is the book I learned from.
Really?
Yeah.
The only one thing he does is he doesn't start from 0, he starts from 1. And it's sort of like the clock, you know. It's 0 o'clock at 12 o'clock, you know. But he starts at 1. And so usually what we do is we start, like if it's a 19, it's 0/19. So we know exactly where we're starting from.
I see.
But so we're not. So 1, therefore, is always the first interval from 0, from your tonic or whatever.
I see.
I would like to show you some more actual music.
All right, yeah, that's
This is a
No, I'm just
well-known-
saying, not to. I mean, if you have to show to them, that's fine. But to me, I see that I'm kind of maxed out in the.
She's saturated.
Saturated
in the.
Well, that's why I just want to
No,
play
no,
something.
more
Play
in the.
Yeah.
Play something.
In the function
This
of
is-
the program.
Let's deal with the aesthetics of direct experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me explain what it is. This is a piece by Beethoven,
Okay.
and it's tuned in 6th comma meantone. So that's based on 5-limit just intonation, but it is a temperament. But it doesn't temper out both dimensions. It only tempers out one. It tempers out the syntonic comma. It doesn't temper out the thing that goes in the other direction. So what you see, I put this in according to Beethoven's notation, and what you see is a 15-note structure, because he's using these 3 pairs of notes, which are roughly a quarter tone apart. Not quite. It's actually an enharmonic diesis. But,
But
well, it's not an enharmonic diesis. It would be if it was just intonation.
Right.
It's actually a comma, since it's tempered tuning. But he uses, and so far every piece I've put in by Beethoven uses the same structure. The keys are always different, depending on what key it's in. But as long as you put the tonic as your origin point, you get exactly the same 15-note structure every single time. So in all
Is that the
pieces,
Cavatina?
this is the Cavatina, but in all the pieces I've done by Beethoven, he always has the same lattice structure,
Which is a beautiful piece.
which I never would have discovered if I didn't have Tonescape.
You ever try any handle?
Not yet, no.
Try that. I'm curious to know.
Well, here's Beethoven.
So whenever you see a triangle up, that's a major.
chord. When you see a triangle down, that's a minor chord.
There was a seventh.
Sometimes if the computer's not fast enough or doesn't have enough memory, you lose the score on the pitch height too. We always gave top priority to audio since it's a music program, and then the second priority is to the lattice diagram, so the third priority is to the pitch height window. So a lot of times on computers that don't have enough memory or a fast enough processor, you'll lose the notes on that side.
There you go.
Beautiful.
And if I zoom in on here, you can see that these are not equally spaced. So this is an unequal tuning.
What piece was
This is the Cavatina from Beethoven's 13th Quartet. The B-flat Quartet. So there's a real close view of one octave of the tuning. So you can see that the notes are all different spaces.
I wanted to expose into the microtonal thing before we started talking about polyaesthetic mapping, and we probably ought to just leave that for today. And you and I get together sometime and talk about.
Yeah, it's a lot in one day, you know. And you
Yeah.
guys, let me admit it, you are all top-notch theorists. As I was telling him, I studied 5 years of pre-conservatorio, then I didn't want to get into theory a lot. I mean, I know some, because I want to do more my experiments. So to me, it's a lot of theory all at once.
Yeah, right. You're meeting a
I
lot
just
of
don't grasp it
theory.
like that. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I understand it, but I'm not like a conservatorio like you. You know, it takes me to digest it. You know, that was
Well,
a
you
choice.
took in a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
choice I did. I didn't want to become, like a top-notch theorist. But you know.
But
Yeah.
anyway, this is
Yeah.
the top of, because even many of the top professors of music don't understand this.
Right. Sometimes this is high-end,
Lots
and
of
you guys
people
are all
don't
high-end, and I'm like, ooh.
I don't so much high end as different end.
Different end,
No,
yeah.
no, for high-end I mean a lot.
Far end.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, so, I mean, I totally grasp it, but it takes me time to digest it. That's why. So if I go home and do some little research and reading,
Yeah.
then I can get more.
This
Yeah.
book is.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Thank you. Yeah.
John Coltrane at 31E.
Giant steps.
But the whole point of giant steps is that it uses a chord progression that always comes back to where it started from, and in 31 it doesn't. It's one step short than 31.
Yeah, I really like handles. I would be curious to
Well-
put a piece of handle in there.
Yeah, I don't have anything in here by him on the thing. I don't think I have
Especially
anything.
the opera. Don't put the Messiah. No Messiah. Everybody just plays the Messiah instead now. There's so many good operas and things he wrote. People just know the
He's a
Messiah.
Mahler.
Yeah, that's who
Oh.
I have in here, Mahler.
Okay.
But
I don't
here's-
really listen much of that. I listen a lot of Baroque music. That's what I'm big into.
I have something else interesting.
But,
Let's see. I have
I just
something.
put a heavy metal like an Iron Maiden there.
You
Well, I
you have to become friends on Facebook with Ron Sword. He's
Yeah.
a,
Ron,
he-
what?
yeah,
SWORD.
SW, oh, sword?
yeah. He does heavy metal and microtonal.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and he's a luthier, so he makes his own guitars and
That's amazing.
all the different kinds of
And
tunes.
Sergio and I were big into heavy metal because to me heavy metal, like the serious one,
Check this out. This
it's
is
the Baroque music of nowadays. And so since I'm being Baroque and in the metal,
this is
this
a
would be like a cool thing. Sergio would look very good.
this is a classic old song that I put in 19. Beach Boys in my room.
I like
Yeah, pretty
It
cool.
works,
huh?
works very well.
it. Did you know that piece?
No, I'm not sure.
It's a Beach Boys song from the 60s.
Oh, Beach Boys, yeah, I'm not into
So it's
that.
got all the vocal harmony, you know, like 3 or 4 part vocal harmony.
Yeah.
The guitar.
See, that's that's when I was
Sounds
a
like
little
that.
boy. That music.
Colors from Red.
Oh yeah? This is a classic song. You know, I mean, it's Brian Wilson. You know, Brian Wilson kind of lost it a little bit later on. And here he's talking about how he just stays in his room, you know.
In my room.
Yeah. Just, goodbye world, leave me alone, I want to stay in my room.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Just take a bunch of toys though. I want to stay in my
Well,
room.
it's music.
Yeah, exactly.
Music.
Let's talk a little bit about the DNA of creativity. That doesn't take too much brain power.
Okay.
It's a program that where scientists and artists are collaborating. And we have, as a group, there are two.
Oh.
They brought, yeah, yeah.
There are two more people in the group that are not here. That's Arthur and
John
John.
Showers.
John Chalmers and Arthur Frick. And you'll meet them soon enough. John is a scientist and a music theorist, a microtonal music theorist,
Actor, playwright.
actor, yeah, and all-around brilliant guy. And Arthur is a musician slash performance artist, interested in making spectacles.
Just somebody there.
You got his customer. And
I'm just looking, Henry, don't pay attention.
Okay.
If I find something, I'll let you know.
All right.
so in this group, we were trying to come up with ideas for this
Combining.
for this project.
Yeah.
Now, the DNA of Creativity is going to pick, I think, 4 projects to fund. If they're going to give $2,000 to each project, and then hopefully we can figure out a way to get more money. I don't know, because I don't know how we're going to do it on 2,000. What we've been talking about.
What would
Well,
be the-
depends on what we're talking
The
about.
financing for the programs. what would
Well,
be-
that's one of them. One of them is Joe's put in to finish this program out, probably update it, get it on like Windows 7 or something, and all that business.
Linux.
Linux.
No, that's what I would like.
Okay.
But
Well, amazing.
Yeah, Linux probably doesn't change enough that you wouldn't have to worry about it so much.
I just would like it working in Linux because I never use Windows anymore except for Tonescape.
We've noticed by the files that you've sent
Yeah.
us that they don't work.
Right.
Is it on Macintosh?
It runs on the Mac if you have Parallels Desktop and Windows 7. You still have to buy Windows to make it run.
Alright.
It's a Windows.
The Windows program
So it's
is
a
really
Windows.
locked into Windows. Yeah.
It's alright, I got both.
But anyway, so Joe's put together the Tonescape program,
Data mapping. Yeah.
data
That's
mapping.
my project.
And John Chalmers has written a screenplay, like just a radio
Radio
play,
play.
that we're thinking about turning it into a theatrical production. So he has proposed that idea, and then I have proposed a polyaesthetic mapping program, and we'll get into that later. But that's basically what, and I would imagine it'd be kind of weird if 2 of our stuff was accepted out of the 4. I really doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
Too geeky for the common.
Well, yeah, there's been 9 projects that have been submitted,
Oh, that's all,
and you know, and some are stronger than others. 1 or 2 of them are really strong. So, I would imagine those will probably get.
So you know about the other projects?
Yeah,
in there.
because I'm on the board,
Oh.
and Johnny's as well, and so we got access to all of the. In fact, we're supposed to comment on how to make those better. The other projects,
Okay.
and so we'll have to do that. Which reminds me, that's something I need to do. I need to work on. So that's, in a nutshell, what's going on with the DNA of Creativity. It's funded by the San Diego Visual Arts Network, and you know Patricia, right?
Oh, yeah.
So So that's the, this group with that. And then,
No, then, I mean, my point was mainly, what is the goal of the entire, I mean, what is that we're gonna accomplish?
what are we gonna accomplish?
Everyone writes
I
one
can't-
song, comes with one song.
No, the idea, there are
Together.
4 projects, and then
Yeah.
do we actually boil that down to one
It
project?
depends on what gets picked. Like if they pick the
so
Tonescape
it's
thing,
still-
then all of us will be focusing on the,
Oh, I see.
on how to work on Joe's project. We'll all be part of Joe's
I see.
project.
All right.
If they pick the one I proposed, then we'll all be working on the one I
So
did.
it's still work in progress, okay, just,
So they have
what
a-
is the final goal still to be established? depending-
Well, if it's,
I mean,
Now,
the
I
goals
can't-
are
Aren't
there.
they gonna choose by April 9th, like by
yeah,
Monday?
it's gonna be,
Monday,
yeah, pretty
alright.
quick. In fact, I
Yeah.
gotta get on my ass, get off my ass to get this.
You know what? Is my application officially submitted or not?
Yeah.
It is, okay.
I
I
could
just wanted to
finally
make sure.
open it, finally could open it, because it's,
Because he lives in this other world.
I know.
Called Linux and.
Sorry, gee. There's a thing called text files that everybody ought to be able
Well,
to read.
yeah, but they aren't formatted, they're just streams
the
of
word,
text.
word
It's like,
here, word there.
you know, and I just like,
The whole point of a text file is that it's just simple ASCII text that anybody can read, but
and anybody can read it, but the formatting of that text is totally different.
you know, it's not my fault that people choose to use Windows
I know.
as their standard.
So, if, I can't talk about John's and Joe's project, but I can talk about the one I am proposing. And it's really kind of we proposing, because it's not really mine. I just have a little piece in it, which is the polyaesthetic mapping part. But it is basically it's going to be a series of probably 8 skits. And each of the skits are going to be assigned to illuminate a particular type of aesthetic. It's actually going to be a blend of polyaesthetics. Or
But it's a mapping concept.
well, yeah. I guess I can get a little bit into it. I'm just trying to, I don't want to overwhelm her with.
Yeah, no, I
stuff.
think it's better if we explain me the details, maybe next time, even if it's a lot now.
But in a sense, what we're mapping is we're going to map aesthetics in a 3-dimensional grid.
But still with music, or?
Has- yeah,
Oh,
that's
no, that's more,
erase the paper. We're starting,
I
in your
see.
mind, we're starting
all
brand
right,
new.
all right, so we should probably talk about next
Yeah,
time.
this
I
is
get
a
it.
totally separate thing.
So
than-
aesthetic, just, I mean, what is the medium you're doing?
Right now, it'll probably be theatrical productions,
Oh, I see, okay.
which we envision having music
That can be
mixed
combined.
in with the
Yeah,
theater.
right, that would be great.
Little productions, yeah, but then, the idea that we were talking about is that at the end of each one, the audience, whoever wants to participate in the audience can use their cell phone to vote to place that item somewhere in the 3-dimensional space according to how they
We haven't talked
understand.
about that 3-dimensional space.
Right.
Yeah, I heard just a piece of that
Yeah.
video that was there, I heard that.
But the idea is that these 3 dimensions
right
of
here around the
the
corner looking at some
aesthetics
rocks.
will be mapped to this 3-dimensional space, and the audience will
Oh, I
pick a
can-
point
yes,
in
I
that
know
space
where
where
I'm
they
at.
think that little production belongs.
I see.
And then they'll be able to
Okay.
see what everybody
Okay.
votes
So
on
we are
and
going to
an
map it
average.
and
That's
fill the
part of the
auditorium
whole-
with a Cartesian coordinate system.
Right.
So,
That's part
what
of the
is
whole
the
thing.
time frame for this? I mean, it sounds like a lot of stuff. Is that
It'll
gonna
be a
take
year from now.
1 year from now?
Something like that. Around,
So I mean, to be done in 1
Be
year?
done, yeah.
Okay.
And
That's-
Yeah, so it's a lot of work, and we'll be looking for more people to
Right.
accomplish this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a large team of people. We haven't got the members yet. After April, then out of the other teams that didn't make it, we're hoping,
You work here?
if,
Oh,
say
It's my
we,
place.
Oh, it's
Our-
your place.
you know,
I guess you
our-
like,
this project gets accepted, then we're hoping
No.
that other
No,
people
I
from the
don't. I
project
don't
that
do
didn't get
much
accepted
walking.
will join
I just go
us.
I
to
see.
shows and.
We're-
That'd be
yeah.
great.
Or if we don't get accepted, we'll have to
Join
pick,
somebody
we'll have to
else.
pick one of the 4. And we're gonna join somebody else's team if we don't get picked.
And so for the music, let's say that is withdrew,
Oh.
Yes,
Each one
yeah,
of us
that's
that
interesting.
program,
Stones.
or how that would
The
work?
Tonescape one?
Yeah.
Well, my project for this particular thing
Right.
is to use Tonescape to map
So
data
you're
from
broken-
That's
scientific
the total we're talking
experiments.
about
That's a
now.
whole separate.
I
Separate-
see.
separate-
Oh, all right. No, I thought
Right.
maybe we had to compose things now.
Well, I can do that
Yes.
for his project.
Yeah, and if
But
we're working
he
on
does
his,
it.
then
For
you
this
guys.
polyaesthetic
yeah,
mapping
you'll-
thing, we could do
Yeah,
that.
like if you had a
We
little
could do
box
musical
like that, you guys
performance,
can
yeah.
perform microtonal stuff with the theatrical
I see.
productions.
Okay, I get it.
And then
No, I
also,
thought-
well, we also talked about using the ideas from Tonescape's dimensional mapping, multi-dimensional mapping, to also show the votes at the end, not only like show them above the people's heads, but make a sound too.
I see.
Like make music out of wherever the votes go in the
Yeah,
space.
we,
So,
all these things haven't been finalized, but,
Alright.
but as far as the three-dimensional axes, we're talking about like mapping them along different axes, okay? Like one axis is
You know,
the,
you can get two.
dealing with the aesthetics of direct experience,
This is your-
which requires little thought.
You can get
You know, you
these, I
just
have to, they're bigger than-
instantly
like this.
absorb it. That type of an aesthetic. At the other end of the spectrum, on this one axis,
Yeah.
is the aesthetics of thinking,
Write it and then
which
when
is a
you
lot like
write it,
mathematics, or like a mathematical proof or something. You look at, oh, look at how that person, you know, the structure of how they thought. You know,
Right.
look at the
Goes right through
beauty
you.
in the thinking of how this is expressed.
Right.
You know, so you have that at one end of the spectrum, at the other end of the spectrum, no thinking, just direct experience. And you have a gradient, a gradation of ideas, so you can take any aesthetic and map it
Yeah, the chords. is
along
really
that
good for
axis
that.
somewhere. It has a little bit of both in it, so it's in the middle, or it has more thinking than it does direct
Oh,
I see,
experience.
I see.
So it's
And then you
closer.
get with your mathematical formulas there. So it's like-
I think it speaks to you, you do whatever.
Uh,
Maybe
it says.
I'm taking a picture or not? I mean, I thought you were. I'm sorry.
Are you thinking about my piece in New York, or?
I saw those formulas you had on your website. No,
Okay, that's
you're right,
different, that's
Different
different,
thing, okay.
different thing. We're just talking about
All right.
mapping an aesthetic somewhere on a
right.
line,
Okay,
okay? So that's a one dimension.
right.
Another dimension, we have the aesthetics of utilitarian function, where the object functions
Mhm.
to do something.
Right,
And then at the other end of that spectrum, we have the aesthetics of not having a function, you know, a purposeless.
right.
The only purpose is the aesthetic beauty in the object. It doesn't do anything.
I see, I see, I see.
Okay, so we have another axis and a gradient there, so you can map things from, you know, a Ferrari over here at the utilitarian function, or,
Where's this
you
come
know,
from?
a
Brazil.
painting of
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
they're
sea,
usually
a
darker.
sunset, you know.
Well-
Really, there's
They
no
usually
purpose, no, it
are.
doesn't function
Brazilian?
to do
That one's,
something,
that one's pretty.
Right.
other than just natural beauty. It's,
No, no, I got it. No, no.
okay?
For some reason, I thought you wanted to connect mathematics to all this.
Well, think about these, this is
Yeah,
a
no, no, exactly,
Cartesian
but I thought you
space.
came up with formulas to.
Well, actually, if you were gonna do a vector
You're
sum,
white,
Right, right.
you know, if you had
real dark.
had
Dark.
an aesthetic that, where you mapped it on this axis at this point and mapped it on this axis at this point, the vector sum would move it over here.
Right, right,
So
right.
you would have to calculate that.
Exactly, that's what I thought,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, the third axis is an expression requiring mental prowess, design. And then the other end is a expression requiring physical prowess, which is craft. You have to practice your craft, like playing your instrument. It's physical, you know.
Right.
It's not a mental operation, whereas the design is mental operation. So here we have a three-dimensional space where we can map any aesthetic. You can map the Ponzi scheme, you can map my wedding ring, a birthday cake, Beethoven's, you know, anything can be mapped in this space. Mathematics, Pythagorean theorem, anything. Pornography, everything can be mapped in this three-dimensional space.
That's interesting.
So, what we're going to do is create theatrical productions. This space is a cube, right? Three-dimensional cube.
Right,
Each of the corners there is a particular aesthetic a vector sum of the,
Here's a nice.
at the corners, right?
Yes.
So if your team was assigned to deal with this corner, then you need to create
It's $14.
a theatrical production that illuminates the
Those are just
aesthetics
beads. You have
from
to
the
make your
three
own.
ideas at that corner,
According to you, right,
according to this system.
right, but, you know, part of the fun of this whole thing is that the audience gets to vote on what they think it is when it's over.
Yeah, so what we
Their
do
idea
is
about it
if
might be
if
very
we
different.
make them
Mexico or
assign it at the corners,
Afghanistan.
and then we do the production, and then at the end, the audience experiences this production and says, okay, where does it roll, where does it land on, is it the aesthetics of thinking versus the aesthetics of direct experience? Is it, you've got utilitarian function, so you have to go through these axes and vote. So then we take the whole audience, an average of the whole audience, and then map where the audience is. And we'll turn the entire theater, the auditorium in the theater, we'll turn it into a grid. And probably use, the thing I'm thinking now is helium balloons to create axes
That's so cool.
in the space of the auditorium.
That sounds really good. I mean,
And then,
Very out there.
then we'll use a balloon, you know, maybe some beautiful woman, you know, will run out with this balloon and put the balloon in the point where the audience voted, you know, and then we'll illuminate maybe with lasers or something, you know.
Right.
And say, this is where you guys did it. And this corner over here is where the artists themselves thought that they were expressing. So we can see the difference between how the audience perceives it and how the actors and screenwriters and
Right.
musicians, how they present
No,
it.
I completely see it. I mean, see it, I can imagine.
So that's one of the
So that's
things.
one project.
That's
And
one
this
project.
is another project.
This
and
is another project. And John Chalmers is a play about Mars, about astronauts going to Mars and visiting the Martians. And it's all kind of a play off of science fiction and
So
Edgar
you
Rice
need-
Burroughs.
So you need actors or would you?
Yes, we'll be needing actors, we'll be needing musicians, we'll be needing people to stage it, you know, technical people, we're gonna need tons of people, you know, that are interested. Hopefully we can get people interested in doing this. That is if this
Well, I
project is
think we
accepted.
just need to wait what's gonna get accepted and then
That's
from
right.
there.
Then we'll go from there.
Concentrate. I mean, I'm interested in anything that, I mean, the music one would be the most, maybe I would be interested. But of
There
the
will be,
ones
there'll be
that-
music in all
So-
of it.
Right, so then anyway.
Yeah, all of these will have music in
So
it.
that's, right. Not that I'm more interested, take it back, I'm thinking I can contribute.
Sure.
I mean, as acting, I can't contribute. That's
No,
what I think,
and
you know.
I'm not an actor either,
Right.
so.
So, but I mean, I like the concept and I like it's just interesting and a learning experience.
Yeah,
just
that's
to
what we're
do
doing, it's for
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Just, we're all
Yeah,
gonna
like you
learn some
you
things
learn
from
a lot,
each other.
yeah.
We're all part on a team. We're all very talented people. So I think
Right.
it's just gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it is.
And so the music stuff, you would be part of the music team. You know,
Yeah.
with
See,
Joe,
that's the ones I can
Jonathan.
contribute and Sergio with, you know.
Yeah, and Sergio and
Yeah.
yourself and possibly some more people.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking for more musicians that are
Oh yeah,
interested.
there's a lot of people I know that it's a matter to see if they would be willing to commit the time, but yeah, there's a lot of people I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part, is like this
Yeah,
is
because
not.
myself, I don't really have much time. That's the problem. I mean, I really want to, but like, you know, like today, I mean, I really.
I
But if I
understand
can
that.
work a long distance, if sometimes you guys have meetings and I could follow to Skype,
Well, yeah,
it's just a matter of hooking up internet with this little camera and people can follow from where they are. Because sometimes, I mean, it's not a problem to me to come up within an hour time, but if I have to leave and drive, and it takes me 3-4 hours.
where do you live?
In Pacific.
You have good grades and bad
So,
grades.
but
and
it's not even that, it's just that I work
Yeah.
PhD in music, I have a lot
You
going
did your
on.
little fire.
And so sometimes, like, you know, I can just sign up with Skype and follow you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, it shouldn't
we can
be-
try to work something like that.
Yeah.
You know, all of
Yeah.
the videos
Right.
are being
We have
recorded
those. I don't want
and
him
put
to
on
get
Right,
video.
so I can
So
follow
you can always
those.
follow those. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go back in time and look at our very first one and follow all the way through this
No,
stuff.
exactly,
If you
yeah,
want.
no, I followed a few like the other night, that was really good.
It's kind of hard to understand if you
Yeah.
jump in the middle of it. Now you have a little
No,
better
but now I
understanding.
understand, so,
Yeah.
alright.
They have
And,
a place, just before you get
and
to,
you can see
They're open weird
how
hours.
we're doing this and stuff. But yeah,
12:30 to 8.
but you know, we're all working. You know,
Yeah.
I gotta work for a living too. You know,
Right.
it's
they
like-
have a lot of.
No, the problem is I got work, PhD and back, so that I come home and I can just keep back to work on the back. I mean, not saying I'm doing so much, but it's really serious problem, but I wanted to do it before.
I have work and I have a wife.
It's like 2
Oh,
PhDs.
yeah.
She tells me what she wants.
Famous for that.
And she's wanting to buy a house. So I
All
gotta
up in that Palomar
get
map.
studying and working on
Yeah,
that.
so we're all busy. I'm not saying I'm busy. I'm just saying that for me, it's sometimes difficult to go to meetings,
Road
but
there, cutaway,
because the time, you know, when it's something a certain time during the week,
You can get pretty good money.
if we can coordinate, you know, maybe sometimes like we'll just keep work for a day.
About the size of
They come down here
a,
every Saturday.
Yeah.
pencil.
You know, when I'm traveling around.
So we can maybe have
Once
some
you have it set in and
meetings here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's this is easy enough.
If it's the
Maybe I
clergy.
should go to my dog.
Okay.
It's just for my dog that
People want to extend it on the-
All right, sounds good.
But thank you so much. Really, what did I have about?
That's like stories. I'm looking